saying they are against it.
Right. Well, I mean, I think it's more likely to be confirmed than not. I don't think it's a sure thing. But I think those who dismiss it out of hand aren't paying close enough attention. I think Donald Trump will give a lot of deference in general for his nominations. There are others that are controversial, too, even with some Republicans. But maybe the biggest factor, I think, is one that's obvious but not often stated. Every member of the Senate, a Republican member of the Senate, has family, friends, constituents, donors who want jobs in the new administration. And as those jobs are parceled out, it's not the best of times to be crossing the incoming president, to shoot down his chosen pick for Attorney General. I think that Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins will be perennial no votes against things Donald Trump wants. Not everything, but some things, and probably Matt Gaetz. That means, assuming that all the Democrats vote no, they need 2 more Republicans to vote no. There are lots of candidates. 10 is probably the right number. But I'm not sure they'll get those two additional Republican senators to vote no, because in the end, a vote against Matt Gaetz is a vote against the new Republican president, who just won a pretty smashing victory.
Yeah, maybe it is somewhat of a litmus test, too, of loyalty. And you're right, Susan Collins telling Punch Bowl reporters that she was shocked by the nomination. And this is why their consent process is so important. Murkowski, Ohio Congressman Max Miller. What do you make of recess appointments, though? Some say that is something that's completely constitutional, and it's a fallback that Trump can and may use.
Bianca, I have a high threshold for wonkery, but that's a pretty wonky topic. I'll simplify it by saying they probably can't do a recess appointment without getting 50 votes in favor of the procedural setup that would be required. And if they can get 50 votes for that, they can get 50 votes to confirm it.
Let's play a little bit of, and I appreciate your wonkiness, because I think we really do need to see how this plays out. And it's a fascinating process that Americans will see in the coming weeks, with Thune actually there as well. Let's play a little bit of Gaetz. Back in June, there was this back and forth with Merrick Garland where he really hit him very hard. We know Americans have had a referendum on weaponized government. Let's play this.
Will the Department of Justice provide to the committee all documents, all correspondence between the department and Alvin Bragg's office and Fonnie Willis's office and Letitia James's office?
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get that. I get that.
You know, he really went after him, and some say this is exactly what's needed. And the reaction that Alana just said about people, you know, in fear, it's shaking things up, which is exactly what I guess 47 is going to look a lot different than 45, Mark.
Well, there's no doubt that a qualification for Donald Trump and his supporters for the new attorney general is that it be someone who shakes up the department. Critics worry that it's someone who's going to change the department in a way that's not consistent with the role of the Justice Department. Matt Gaetz is being criticized for being abrasive, for having political enemies, for being investigated but not indicted.
Right.
I think at some point, assuming his nomination goes forward, people are going to want to know, what kind of legal mind does he have? What kind of capacity does he have to run a giant staff of attorneys at the Justice Department? And how is he going to balance changing the department with maintaining the parts of it that need to be maintained? So I get that people are obsessed with Matt Gaetz's personality. He's a very personable guy and rubs a lot of people the wrong way. But I think, again, at some point, people need to focus on, can he do the job of attorney general?
Well, of course, and that will be part of, I think, the process we watch, too, with the confirmations. Okay, so it gets the, focus off Pete Hegseth. I want to know, if they appoint Kash Patel as head of the FBI, does that take away the Gaetz talk and now reshifted somewhere else? Do you think Kash will be tapped to run the FBI? And if so, what type of shakeup could that mean? We know everything he did with Devin Nunes, the Russia collusion, government gangsters.
Yeah, I mean, Kash Patel is a controversial figure, too. I don't know what job he's up for, and I don't like to speculate about these things if I haven't heard anything concrete. I do know that it's going to be hard to dislodge Matt Gaetz. Maybe Bobby Kennedy, if he was nominated for HHS, could dislodge Matt Gaetz. But Matt Gaetz is now king of the hill of controversy in terms of Trump nominees.
I know we're tight on time. Just real quick, maybe yes or no. Lara Trump, does she fill Marco Rubio's seat, Mark, in the Senate?
I'll have to go with maybe.
We'll leave it at that.